We begin this hour with Donald Trump giving in to his worst impulses and pushing the limits of his presidential authority. Last night, he authorized the deployment of 300 National Guard members in Chicago against Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker's wishes. The move comes as tensions escalate between immigration officials and protesters and normal people on the streets over ICE raids in the city. Trump is also using the government shutdown to go after his perceived enemies by targeting states led by Democratic governors with the first wave of federal funding cuts. This week, the Trump administration announced the cancellation of billions in energy programs impacting 16 states that just happened to vote for former Vice President Kamala Harris in last year's election. And amid all the uncertainty for federal workers who Trump has threatened with mass layoffs, Trump went to Quantico this week and delivered a rambling yet alarming speech before America's top military leaders, suggesting that so-called dangerous U.S. cities could be used as training grounds for the military. His remarks were bizarre enough that Democratic Congresswoman Madeleine Dean approached House Speaker Mike Johnson about them.
The president is unhinged. He is unwell. What are you doing? A lot of folks
on your side are, too. I don't control
Oh, my God, please. That performance in front of the generals, that
I didn't see it.
is so dangerous. You know I serve on Foreign Affairs and Appropriations. This is a collision of those two things. Our allies are looking elsewhere. Our enemies are laughing.
I just left
you
the
have a
Speaker's
president who is you have a president who is unwell.
Joining us now, that Congresswoman Madeleine Dean of Pennsylvania, member of the House Foreign Affairs and Appropriations Committees. Congresswoman, thank you so much for joining us. You have gone viral. Everyone's been watching this video of you talking to House Speaker Mike Johnson, and I'm curious how you read what he said, because there's a lot of interpretations out there. What did you take from his comments to you?
Well, good morning to all of you. Thanks for having me on. And I want you to know that that was just a very short part of a much longer conversation that I did have with the speaker about many things. Obviously, what he says is very strange, that he doesn't refute what I said, that he is unhinged and unwell. And I brought that to him because I feel a sense of urgency. That day, that performance in front of the generals was so strange. It was a vanity call to bring the generals in and then to insult them by way of Secretary Hegseth, and then the meandering, flat set of rambling things that the president said. That concerns me. And so his reaction, not to push back and say, no, he's fine, was puzzling. And also just, this is what the Republicans do when they don't want to face what's going on. I said to him, did you see the performance before the generals? I haven't seen it. Come on. You're the Speaker of the House. I think you would have tuned in, or somebody would have told you about it.
Yeah.
Congresswoman, your Republican colleague from South Dakota, Congressman Dusty Johnson, was on Meet the Press. I'm shifting gears to the shutdown here. And he was, they were talking about, federal workers being fired out of their jobs, furloughed. Just listen to this exchange between the congressman and Kristen Welker.
President Trump's been very clear that he intends to follow through with these layoffs.
I think there are going to be layoffs, but I think those layoffs will be designed not to impose harm on the American people, but there'll be layoffs that I think the administration thinks that over time will make the country stronger. There are some federal employees that shouldn't have jobs, though, Kristen. Not every single federal job is some sort of a birthright.
Congresswoman, just personally speaking, what the congressman said is offensive on so many levels. And how many times have we seen the administration fire people or remove people from their jobs only to turn around days or weeks later to rehire them once they realize, oh, those folks are actually necessary? Your reaction to Congressman Johnson?
Oh, my God. The disdain for federal employees. It is really sickening to me. I know an awful lot of these folks who serve us every single day. I'll give you an example from this week. We take pride in serving veterans. Do you know what we got when we tried to put in a new inquiry for a veteran? We were told no new inquiries at the VA. You can call the White House to help you serve your veterans. Honest to God, that kind of disdain for people who are doing their work Some of them have done it for decades. And for Dusty to say, oh, there's dead wood there, or birthright. You know, as I spoke to the speaker, one of the things I pleaded with him about was to tell the truth to the American people, that it was they who shut this government down, that it is they, the Republicans, who have control of the House, the White House, and the Senate. And of course, it was the speaker who said to his members, don't come back to Washington. And then he just canceled session again. Do you think they want to reopen this government when they won't even come back to do their job? This is on them. And the harm to the folks who serve us absolutely daily is very, very sad. You know, as I had this conversation with the speaker, I looked at him surrounded by such able-bodied people who keep him safe every single day, Capitol Police. And they will continue to do that. I've had the pleasure of working with the Capitol Police, and I know their excellence, but they're not getting paid. Does he feel any shame for that?
Congressman, quickly, I want to sort of marry the two topics that we were just talking about. I think that video felt so important for me, for the public to see, because it also gives them a glimpse into how things can be and sometimes actually are between lawmakers on Capitol Hill, that there can be civic, productive back and forth between Republicans and Democrats that go beyond sort of the performative interviews and statements that we see on television from both sides of members on both sides of the aisle, really, which sort of gives me maybe some hope that there is room for negotiation at the end of the day between Republicans and Democrats when it comes to the shutdown. I mean, do you think that is an overly optimistic read? Or, you know, are you guys actually not speaking, not negotiating in any way right now?
Well, Jackie, you're saying what my husband said to me immediately, which is people don't understand. You guys actually do have conversations. The speaker and I have had these kinds of frank conversations over the years. We served on judiciary together. So he and I have had these conversations where respectfully we tell each other what we think. And we have the ability to just completely disagree. So I give the speaker credit. He always speaks with me at the end of it. At the end of this 3 or 4 minute conversation, he said, I love you. It's not personal. And I said, that's why I'm talking to you. There are chances for us to speak. But what I implore the speaker and his Republican members, speak the truth to the American people. Stop deceiving them about a so-called clean CR or who shut this down or what our government workers are doing.